Hey everyone, it's Matt here, along with Goose, and today we're going to talk about Emperor Slime and part of the S series, and how this unique unit is actually really powerful as long as you use it correctly. Stay tuned. Alright, so Emperor Slime here. Obviously, if it's Emperor Slime, it's a slime unit, and it is one of the best buff units that is in the game currently in JP, and is by far the best buffing unit that we have in the game right now. There will be one other buff unit that focus more on attack than defense, and that actually should be coming out soon. But Emperor Slime is the best defensive buff unit and probably the best healer in the game as well. Um, so its leadership effect is incredibly specific. It raises slime defense by 30%. Um, Usually you're not going to use this, but the one time, there's two times that you will use this leadership effect. The first time is if you are fighting a very tough boss battle. You need Emperor Slime because you need to increase defense to make sure everyone survives, but you especially need your Emperor Slime to survive. And I'm going to tell you that Emperor Slime has a very low HP set, but very high defense, and increasing its defense by 30% is a huge buff for it. Um, the other time is when you do have a full slime party and you have Emperor Slime in the party. Then this is a huge increase in defense by 30% for every unit that's near it. And you're going to keep this unit near as many of your monsters as you can because it just buffs and makes all of your units very powerful. But um, uh, generally, those are the only two times you're going to use it as a leadership. As a leader, I'm not a huge fan of it, obviously, it's very niche. As a unit, though, fantastic unit, fantastic buffer. Not a lot of people use him generally, and it's kind of a shame. Mine right now is level 67. I just got him. I increased him as much as possible, already got him to S4. Uh, and he's going to see some use for me now. So he has four skills. The first skill is Kabuff, which is a very huge increase of defense for all allies for 3 turns. And then in this game, unless if it's a very special buff, all buffs last for 3 turns. Um, this helps you survive attacks. Uh, I mean, that's pretty much all it does, but it makes your units very, very safe. And as long as you are, like, the only teams that sometimes I don't feel really need the Emperor Slime are the Magic teams because their goal is to kill the units in 1 or 2 turns. And even then, as long as you're not completely sucking your magic dry, Emperor Slime can help out by healing, which is multi heal, the third skill, which is a huge healing spell, especially with as much wisdom as Emperor Slime does. It will heal almost always your units very close to max, unless if they're near death or they've got a huge amount of HP, like a Great Troll or a fully awakened Green Dragon. Does a lot of healing and can heal multiple units as well. That MP consumption is a bit high at 70. And the second one is Cheer. It's the only one that is not multiple AoE, but it does raise attack and defense for 3 turns. So it is the only attack buff that Emperor Slime has, and it still buffs defense as well. As I say, so Emperor Slime is a defensive and healing unit, and it can raise one ally's attack slowly. And if you really cycle this through, you can raise up to 3 allies attack, but then you can't heal. For the first perk here for the Awakening skill, the sporadic MP regen is very nice. It's similar to like White King, uh, except more than likely, as long as you don't have to multi-heal, it's not an incredibly long battle. It's not nearly as useful as it was for White King, but it still makes Emperor Slime. If you have an Emperor Slime at the First Awakening, it is an absolute machine. If you have a tough boss battle that is taking 10 to 12 turns, you can. That is the only way that you're going to be able to survive that long, as you're going to be able to multi-heal and buff up your units while the boss just starts running out of gas. At the Second Awakening, it has Crackle Resistance plus 25. Fourth Awakening is Sizz Resistance plus 25. And the third and fifth just are multi-heal power up plus 5%. And the more that you level multi-heal, the more ridiculous it gets. This unit's multi-heal is what makes multi-heal so great. I know I'm really hammering this home, but for the really tough battles and you have an Emperor Slime, you're really doing yourself a disservice if you don't bring him on your team. Now, his level 100 stats. I have his HP in red at 365. That's right. That's all he gets. So, he has a pretty big weakness, and his HP is pretty small, so he is a bit squishy. Generally, there's one weapon that I have here, but he's one of the few that I almost always suggest high HP and defense and just have you focus on HP. So if you have a weapon that you can just sacrifice to the HP gods for alchemy, your Emperor Slime would be very thankful for that. It's also, I think, the only monster, and there might be one or two others that I haven't even paid attention to, that has a higher MP pool than an HP pool at level 100 stats at 367. Its agility is fairly slow at 243 as well. There are slower units, but this is not exactly a unit that's going to go very fast. But its wisdom is 321. Its attack is 260. You're never going to use its attack, or if you do, it's going to be only because you've got the battle wrapped up. You want the Emperor Slime to be out of attacking range. Its movement's 2, weight's 50, but I saved the defense for last at 537. That is by far the highest defense in the game. Raises slime defense by 30%. This is why, as I say, if you need to keep your Emperor Slime alive, this slime defense by 30% is huge. Normally that would only give you like 70, say, defense or so. With this guy here, it is going to give you almost 160, 170 defense, and especially compared to HP, where, you know, units say that can give 20 HP. It's not going to give all that much, where a lot of units will really like it. If you need to keep Emperor Slime alive, that is why you will put him into leader place. That's the only time you're really going to use that leadership effect, but it is important because it keeps it alive. So as I say, it's a weird, like, how do I rank it as a leader? It's not a great leader, unless if you need it. And that is fantastic. And so it's so hard for me to give it a quote-unquote ranking on this one. And as a unit, you want it to attack something? No, wrong unit at all. But its ability to help you survive a powerful boss. A boss that attacks every 2 turns, Archdemon, or Nightclubber, or, you know, someone that has a big attack that you need to be able to survive. The Emperor Slime is what's going to allow you to survive it, then heal up everybody, and at that point you'll be fine, and the boss just can't take you down. So the equipment here, I have Slime Wand because it does help with the wisdom. Slime type spell power 4%. So that heal's going to heal even more, and you can get into Babble Slime Road 6 or Liquid Slime Road 6, depending on, how you grew up on Dragon Quest. I grew up where they were called Babbles. Skills to look for in Alchemy for this weapon is Slime based spell power, Slime agility, and Slime MP. The agility is just so that you can move it maybe faster before some enemies, so you don't have to adjust. But on the opposite side, if it goes last and you don't have enemies behind you, you can heal. So there's pluses and minuses to the agility, and the MP2 as well. As I say, with the sporadic healing, sporadic MP2, it's not nearly as useful. That's the ideal as long as you don't need the HP. But I also am thinking if you got an HP weapon that's rolled a lot of HP on it, the Emperor Slime will really like it because it's one of the few monsters where HP comes at a premium for. So I do have the Slime Wand as the ideal equipment. There might be others as well. So for preferred learned skills, it's basically you want a single ranged AoE that is magic because its wisdom is much higher than its attack. And, if you have nothing to heal, you don't need to buff. It's nice to have one element to it. So, I have Zam and Zap, and then I put Crackle in. To be honest, these are just suggestions. If you want a big AoE spell, that might be fine as well. But because I expect him to do support mostly, I would say go with the cheaper MP consumptions and just have him attack once or twice. Don't have him waste all of his MP on a very large magic attack. It has to be magic though, because it's wisdom. Its attack is just too small to do anything physical for that. So I hope that you guys have enjoyed this quick discussion on Emperor Slime. If you have any questions or concerns, please put them in the comments below. Also, please give a like and subscribe to my videos, as I still have a lot more S units to go through, and I'll also do other tutorials as I've been doing on a nearly daily basis. So, travelers, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. More importantly, have fun and stay safe on your travels.